Hey, Mr. McLaren here. So we are looking at the Plate Tectonic CR Monday, and I'm gonna go over mostly how to get this slide done. So basically, if you watch this video, you should be writing your observations down below here. Your source, whoever was the source, will be written down here, and the procedure will get written down here. If you want to, you could change this to be dark blue, and this could be light blue, and that could be purple. Either is fine. This slide was more of just to help with the actual writing of the CER. I tried to color code some stuff that you might use in that CER later on in the week. But here we're trying to think about rearranging these continents. So you might recognize some of these. We've got like South America right there, and we got like Africa right here. So we got a couple recognizable things. I think that's Australia. I think this is India right here. And then would that be like Europe? I'm not sure exactly. I think that's Europe. But let's go ahead and look at rearranging these. So to rearrange these, you can click on them, and then when you get this over it, you can just kind of move it around. But we also want to rotate them, so you can rotate them by clicking on this little circle thing and then dragging, and you can rotate it to whatever angle you would like. So we're trying to line up these fossils that are found on these parts of the continent here so that they kind of come together. Because they should, if Wagner's right. Okay, so the first one that I can clearly see is these two kind of go together. That's kind of a classic example. These also are a little bit transparent, so you can kind of line them up and you can get them pretty close. And so if we look at that, that's looking better because now this is a little bit more lined up. That's a little more lined up. Yeah, I think that that kind of works. Not perfectly, these coastlines are not perfectly lined up, but they're pretty close. So now I'm looking at things and I can see there's this right here and that right there. I can see that and that here and there. So I think that this lines up kind of like that, maybe. Something kind of like that. I'm not sure if I want to maybe rotate it a little bit. Kind of hard to say. But it looks to me like that piece might not work there. That might be the wrong piece. I think that this might need to go in there. I'm not sure. I'm going to jump ahead and we'll see what it looks like when I've got these arranged. How I like. Yeah, I think that I've gotten it so that we've got most of the fossils lining up pretty well. And it's not perfect, but you can kind of see how this continuously goes across like that. And this kind of goes across like that as well. So you can kind of see how these work together. Now, what I found was one other thing that was useful was moving multiple these at once. There's a couple ways to do that. You can clip and drag over them. You can also like shift and click on them and hold down shift, and it should let you to continue to add these. Now, if you're holding shift, you can also click on them again to unequip it. I guess unequip, that feels weird. That's like my inner gamer. So if you want to move some of these around, but not all of them, you could do something like that. Remember, you can also undo with Control Z, or you can redo with Control Y, at least if you're on a PC. I think with the Windows, it's a little bit different. I don't think it's Control, I think it's like Command. But yeah, it looks like we were able to line up all of these, so their coastlines were pretty close and their fossils lined up like that. Now, what we should do is also go back and add labels with text boxes. So I might say like, oh, this right here, I'm gonna say that that is, wasn't that Africa? So that's Africa right there. That's one text box. I could make more text boxes like this. I'm actually going to, yeah, I could do that. You can also copy paste the previous existing one if you'd like to. That'd be fine. I'm also going to maybe get rid of these instructions because they're kind of in the way. So I might just push that over there. Okay, cool. There was this text box which we said was South. Okay, so that's South America. And then this is, yeah, it looks like this is India. I might need to double check because both of those look like Australia to me. I'm pretty sure this one's Australia. Okay, come on, India. There we go. Also, like I was saying, you can copy paste these if you do Control C and then Control V. It will make the same text box, and then you can move it down here and relabel it. I need to double check what if this is actually Europe. I need to look at that a little bit closer. But this is definitely Australia. Gotta make that just a little smaller. Just makes it nice and neat. Okay, let's just double check this. Okay, no surprise. This is not Europe. This is actually the Antarctica. Which, if you ever have a hard time with Antarctica, I mean, the Arctic is, Europeans named the Arctic, and then they're like, what's anti the Arctic? What's the opposite? The South Pole, so they called that Antarctica. Yeah, I know, it's silly. Names are kind of weird like that sometimes. So yeah, those are all of those labeled. I believe they're arranged so they could line up. I don't think that there's another way to arrange them up though. Yeah, and you should be able to respond to these now and explain why this lining up that way ties into the idea that these contents are drifting around. Okay? Yep. Thank you for joining me. This has been Mr. McLaren.